You're watching the weekly Wednesday What's Up. Here's a love hotel. Care to join me? Oh, my wiener. You're watching the weekly Wednesday What's Up, the section of my channel where I tell you everything that happened to me in 1 week, or at least all the fun stuff. What's up, guys? Let me see. There's a few things I want to get to, and I started realizing I might want to start categorizing things, very much similar to that one thing about the bike vlogging. I wanted to start categorizing the weekly Wednesday What's Up instead of being so scatterbrained, so to speak, or whatever's off the top of my dome. Especially when something big happens during the week. This one! Alright, so I wrote everything down. So I was basically going to break it up like this. In no particular order, but usually it's probably going to start off with tech, or YouTube stuff. Tech, YouTube, that kind of stuff. Basically talking about the channel or whatever, anything that's been going on big with that. Then I would get into... there's one other one I was going to talk about, but I'm blanking out on it. That's why I needed to write this shit down. Next one was going to be health, like that, just whatever, little things. Then social life, social sort of stuff, things that I've been doing in Japan or whatever. I figured that one. But for the most part, that thing, in terms of social life type of stuff, is going to be on hiatus for quite some time, as a lot of you guys have already know why I went on hiatus and retired from the scene for a while. There's one other big one, but I completely forgot. So, that being said, fuck it, let's go outside. It's too hot in here right now. It's summertime, or it feels like it's becoming summertime right now, and it's just getting damn hot. So, let's just go outside and see what's up with the sunset. You guys can see it right here. It's pretty nice, right? I'm digging doing the weekly Wednesday What's Up from my sunset area, from my balcony and shit. It's pretty cool. Don't look at my messy room and shit. Yeah. But okay, let's go ahead and talk about some of these topics. First and foremost, the Omegle. It's crazy because I didn't want to call it Omegle, like Omega, but I looked it up, and that the creator said that's the way you're supposed to pronounce it. You know, just like there's an Omega sign in the actual logo, so it's supposed to be like Omegle, like that, Omegle. But it sounds so weird. Like, I actually like the Omegle for whatever reason. But he was like saying it sounds, the creator was saying people pronounce it like that, but it's wrong and it sounds weird. Alright, so yeah, so that was pretty interesting. You know, I'll be honest, I was very scared of doing that one. I was quite intimidated because I didn't know exactly how it was gonna go, and I wasn't really sure how I was gonna be able to conduct. Am I really dark in this right now? But I kind of like the sunset, right? So let's just film it like this. Nah, I'm too black. Okay, there you go. Oh, that's nice. So I was kind of I wasn't sure how I was gonna be able to get the conversations done that same way, right? And like how to do one-on-one conversations, and I've never, like, or it's been a long time since I did that, and the way I just kind of pictured it in my mind after a while is I just started thinking about back in I did a throwback to my radio days when I just used to do shows and stuff, and people could call in instead of taking requests or whatever. Then it'd just be like you know, questions, if they had questions for me or something like that. and then I figured, then I started to get the hang of it after that. The thing I wanted was I needed some, like, I was looking at other YouTube celebrities or whatever and how they do their Omegle meetups, and they always have like this, like, you know, the bro fist or like a high five or something like that, or like some sort of outgoing way to end a call, or, and I wasn't sure how long I should have the conversations for with everybody, you know, make sure they got enough time with me, because you know, I didn't know how many people were in queue. That was the thing. Like, I noticed that this one guy, Jax the Pie or something like that, some Scottish guy or whatever, like, I watched one of his videos beforehand, and he was able to tell how many people were waiting for him, or how many people, like, so I didn't know how he did that. Like, I wanted to know, because I actually left, because at one point in time, like, I started getting random strangers again during the chat. So I figured, okay, everybody that was online available, it finished, and then I got offline, and that was that, right? And I started getting ready for work. But then Danny was telling me that he was still on there, and he ended up meeting Cooley and Gator for the first time. And like, people were still on there chatting with each other, except the man of honor, so to speak, or the main guy, me. So but I didn't know that. But anyways, I did that. And anything else particularly, the other thing was the microphone, the sound. The QuickTime player recorded fine, but it's just the audio that's going to be an issue, or was an issue actually. But someone told me, or kind of someone told me, or one of the subscribers told me that probably the best way I can do this is actually to get a mixer, like a mixer in, or like maybe like a headphone splitter with a recorder like that, and that would be the only way that I can actually plug in a mic, because I did it without a mic this time around. For some reason my mic was not working. It was I don't know why. I plugged it into the back of my computer, and it's like a phantom mic. Maybe that's the reason, because it's a phantom mic. I don't know. Like, I've had a lot of issues with that phantom mic. If you go way back to my previous videos, the especially it was called a Miss Nikki Green. I actually used that mic, but it had a USB plug-in, and I've used it several times, but that mic sounds like I'm talking through a toilet paper roll for some reason, and I don't know exactly why it works that way. But yeah. So speaking of which, though, but that was it basically for Omegle. I'm interested in doing it. I think I still prefer Twitch a little bit more, because this other one was kind of draining to like really be like up there for like 2 hours straight. I messed up my throat really bad because I was doing my Vegeta voice for like almost 2 hours there, and I like today I've been coughing up like phlegm and everything. I hope I don't get sick. I think I prefer to Twitch still more, only because like it's easier text-based to just try to keep up with people, or try to keep up with the fan base or whatever, just via text or something like that. But you know, and then that way I feel like I'm able to at least reach out to everybody, opposed to with Omegle, only a few people I could reach into, and other people were waiting and waiting or whatever to meet up with me. Somebody was complaining they've been waiting for 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I do, but like, it's like calling a call center. Like, if you got like other people in front of you or whatever randomly, like, I don't know if Omegle is really the best way. I kind of think Google Hangout is still better, because if you want to talk to me or whatever, if you have the correct type of software ready to go, then just a Google Hangout, you can get on and that's that. But then the thing is, if you're like just hanging around and adding more people to the chat, then I think maybe it does become a little bit hard, because I don't know what's the best way. I've seen celebrities do both. Anyways, let's move on from that. The tech, the card that I bought last, you saw I have. I've tried it recently. It's hard to tell because, you know, I just moved over to Final Cut Pro, and, you know, I was gonna tell you guys about that. Final Cut Pro is good, but, you know, it's weird because it's just like, it's not the same Final Cut Pro that I've always been used to. But, you know, what I was actually trained in, I wasn't trained in like Final Cut Pro 6 or 7. I actually took a college course in that. Final Cut 4 or 6 or something like that. So I actually did a lot of videos that way, and it's funny because I think to myself at this point in time, if I were doing reactions back then, I don't think that would have ever worked to do reactions that same way. So what I do like about Final Cut Pro X, the one I'm using, is the fact that they have the audio sync, which is working very well for another issue with the way my camera records. And I was recording in is that for me? The mailman is here. I was recording in 29.97i or something like that, and it was really messing up everything for long 30-minute reactions or something. So now I switched over to progressive, like it's supposed to be 60 frames per second. It's progressive, which is actually comes down to 30 frames per. It's so weird, all this tech stuff, the way the camera describes things, but in reality what the actual clip is. I thought everything was going to be 60 frames per second, but it's not. I don't understand the camera. I'm very confused about all that, but I'm trying to go through all of that as to the best of my knowledge, basically. Anything else? Tech stuff. Shirts. I think maybe by this week or next, the end of this week or next, I think I'm really gonna get into getting a shirt out there, just an official shirt. We've talked about it last week, and I've looked at some. You guys recommended like Spreadshirt or something last week, and so I've looked into some of that. I saw like actually a video of some guy that ordered 3 different types of shirts from Spreadshirt, and it looks fairly impressive. It's not exactly what I'm not sure actually if I can do it or not. I guess what it really comes down to is actually getting the designs out like that, you know. YouTube wise, I've been thinking about Final Cut and joining a network recently, and I think mainly for me, like this is the thing I've always thought about. It's like, if I were ever going to join a network, it would have to be a network that is going to guarantee an increase in subscribers or viewership and getting the channel out there more than if I would do it myself. You know, for example, like let's say I joined a network today or whatever, and then by the next month I have 30,000 subscribers opposed to the 16,000 subscribers I have now in a month, okay? And you know, I think I'd be nice with that. I'd be happy about that. But then at the same time, I would think to myself, in 1 month, doubling my subscriber count, I don't think it's that hard to do on my own. And so I guess, and you know, the thing is, you try these networks out for like a year or so. So I'm like, how can I tell if they're, like, I've never seen someone like, I want to see like maybe concrete data that shows that they're actually going out there and doing something. On top of that, maybe if they can't prove that, I think the other thing about a network, if what I'd like is access to royalty-free music, a whole database of shit, sound effects, title screens. That's a whole nother thing like a network should provide for me, because I don't understand all these networks that are advertising for people or that keep messaging me to join, but like they all just say the same shit. And it's kind of funny because they all say like, oh yeah, you've worked very hard in this site and your site is in good standing, which it's not. Which is definitely not. Like, I'm like, wait, so you're not really paying attention to anything I'm doing, you know? And so you know, they're just taking channels. I feel like most of these networks, they don't do background checks. They definitely don't do background checks or on a channel or whatever, and really try to they know about the channel, the history of the channel. You know, for example, there was only one particular person, but see, this one's very vague too, because like there was one network that messaged me like, oh yeah, we've seen you have a common interest in Japanese topics or whatever, so you can join our network, our Japanese network. But then I'm like, well, okay, if you look closer, you could see that my channel's very mixed, actually, the reactions, and I just happen to live in Japan, but I also do like life vlogging, things like that, right? So I don't know. I don't know about the network deal so much, especially because, you know, for those of you that don't know, if you join the network, you're almost handing over like half your paycheck or so, almost half your paycheck, depends on the network, of whatever you're making, and like, that's what I'm saying. Like, in my mind, I'd have to kind of estimate. I'd have to estimate at the rate I'm going with the subscribers that I'm getting and the views that I'm getting, estimate how many subscribers I would have in like 1 year from now, right? At the rate I'm going. And then see if a network could double that or something like that. Because it's like, otherwise, if it's just about the same, then why did I just fork over almost half my Google paycheck, you know? That's the thing about the network stuff. But you know, JRAR, the collaboration I did that worked really well, but I messed up because I didn't wear the headphones. JRAR made a very good point. We were talking behind the scenes, and we were talking about the third-party shit and like the copyright strikes and things like that. And he was telling me like the network he's with, one of the things about being part of a network is that they help you get around a lot of the third-party and copyright strikes, things like that, right? And so I was like, oh shit, then maybe I should join a network, because I don't want to get any more copyright strikes, or at least I would be a little more protected. Because he was saying how I'm very brave to be going at this for so long without being in a network at this point, and still with, you know, even at 16,000 subscribers or whatever, even though it's much smaller than his count, and but to not have a network, he said, is not being very brave. And I was like, okay, cool. But then a couple of days after that, my man Jay Georgie, who's part of a network, ended up getting a copyright strike, pretty vicious one, through the WB on the Flash reaction. And I was like thinking to myself, I wanted more details about this, because that shit scared the shit out of me, because I thought, oh my god, I'm about to get hit with that copyright strike through Warner Brothers for my Flash reaction. You know, because they're not very clear. Like, I was talking to Tyrone about JG Georgie a couple days ago, about just to put him on warning, like, yo dude, copyright strikes might be coming. And he said, you know, he was telling me about like, he had a problem with his reaction to upload everything, and he asked me how did I get mine up, but you know, mine is heavily edited compared to his is the full TV reaction. So we were just kind of talking about that, and he told me that, you know, sometimes you can check what point is copyrighted, and then he just edited that part out and he was clean. But you know, there's times when I actually get a copyright monetization, third-party copyright situation, and they don't tell you exactly, they don't tell you anything, like any deal. Like, for example, Vine, that's a big one I'm having an issue with right now. Vine, there's this one Vine, check my Twitter, but there's this one Vine video where I got like 5 different strikes, not strikes, but like notes saying, okay, well, you can't monetize this video. And so then I did the third-party dispute, and they came back right away and was like, no, these still stand. I'm like, okay, what fucking point? Like, what point of this Vine video is the problem? Because I don't want to react to any more. If it's this company's videos, I don't want to do any more reactions anymore. And that was actually something a YouTuber and I was talking about, saying how, especially with the Vine ones, they're not even the original footage. They're actually collaborations of somebody else's shit that they jacked off of Vine, and then they made it their own intellectual property, which is bullshit. So, like, yeah. Anyways. There was something I was gonna say about, I wrote it down, TV, memory. The thing about Final Cut Pro. So the one thing which would help me a lot is, now things are faster, much faster, but I think, especially with the syncing audio issue, the one thing I do want to try it out though is, there's got to be a nice way I can sync 2 tracks together and simultaneously blade the 2 tracks at the same time. There's got to be a way to do it, because then that would make my TV show reactions move so much much more faster, or something. Or I don't know. I was thinking maybe there's a way in the Final Cut Pro where you can tell it to sync the audio, and then when you see like a change in the the wavelengths, single that stuff out so it would automatically crop out certain points of the show, like, and edit out the parts that are original. Maybe that's just too advanced, and that would just be wishful thinking. That'd be fucking dope though, if I could put those 2 tracks like that and just sit back and watch it edit itself, and then come in and do final trimming after that. God, that'd be so good, so goddamn good for TV shows. I wonder if there's a way to do that. Anything else? Okay, well, yeah, we're going on 20 minutes here. So, health stuff. Getting annoyed because summer is coming, and I've been taking these like diet pills or whatever, but I actually feel like I've been gaining weight for some damn reason. Like, it's so annoying. I feel like I got these at a health store that's supposed to be like burning the fat or whatever, and they don't work like the ones I used to take a while back, which I gotta get them from America. So I think I'm just gonna have to import them from America, these like green tea fat burner things. Especially, I think I might have talked about this before, is the fact that one of the main reasons I like them is because there's a lot of caffeine in the pills. Green tea and caffeine, and it just speeds things up, and then that way I don't actually have to get heavy down by coffee, Red Bull, sodas throughout the day, to get throughout the day. And obviously, you know, the simplistic people would say, oh, just don't drink coffee, don't put that shit in your body. I'm like, yeah, okay, don't put that shit in your body, but when you're like jumping around, dancing, singing to kids, and you gotta, like from 9 to 7, you know, and you got to have that same energy consistently, speaking English and talking, and it's like, yeah, you know, you get burnt out very, very quickly. So trust me on that one, for reals. So, you know, the caffeine pills would probably be the most healthy resolution, I guess. Especially air conditioning. Air conditioning, I've done, because now it's gotten hotter, so we turn on the air conditioning. Air conditioning makes me tired, like, it's like no tomorrow. Like, but I don't know what to do. Like, that something about that air conditioning, or maybe the Freon, makes me like just fall asleep. I got this eyeliner, so like eye stuff for my the back, because allergies and all that shit make me look like I got punched sometimes after work or whatever. Like from Korea, I got this like snail eye stuff that you put on, and in the morning I can tell there's a big difference. When I get home though, I'm fucking tired. But that's that. Yeah, especially when I'm like, I just did my hair or something like that, and you get the wrong angle, you're just like, look like death and shit. Social world, nothing new, same. Still on hiatus, not going out. It's better to stay home, and I say that actually with the utmost proudness, because back in the beginning of the semester, or the beginning of this new year, fiscal year for Japan, which was April, So we're in May now, April, May. Yeah, we're in May. You know, it's been about 2 months now, almost 2 months, and I have to say that I am very proud of doing that, like still being on the hiatus, and just like I just wanted to dedicate my whole deal to just YouTube right now and just building the channel more. I've been more consistent, putting more reaction videos out when I have the time, and I've been trying to get around at least 4 to 6 videos within the round of a day. So like 3 in the morning, 3 at night, something like that. You know, and I've been just trying to build that, because so when the time comes to change up the social life again, I can go out and really enjoy myself instead of go out and just coming home disappointed, you know, like Yamcha. I don't know what drinking and going out and clubbing is anymore, but it sounds disappointing. Like that, right? It's not, this isn't as good as it gets. This isn't the best I can get, especially being in Japan, you know, Fukuoka. Yeah, maybe it's good as it gets in Fukuoka, but it's not as good as it's gonna get for Akasan. There was the, oh, and I guess lastly, yeah, you know, you saw some video, or I didn't upload anything on the YouTube channel, but yeah, I did a TV taping about that. That's the other thing about social life, or just having a regular job, full-time job, and other projects, being an entertainer. I severely delayed some of my editing videos that the collaboration I did with J-Rar. I apologize about that, but I was switching over to Final Cut Pro from iMovie too. That's the other problem. I didn't know how to edit that, but I'm kind of proud of what I was able to accomplish in that short amount of time. But what I was filming a couple days ago was a thing for a travel company, kind of like, it's always sponsored by the government or whatever to get people to come to Japan. So they actually sent me to a few locations here in Fukuoka. Actually, I don't think you can see the island. They sent me to an island nearby, and I got to record. They were very impressed, and that's the thing I wanted to tell you guys about. Was they only originally I was just gonna go to a temple and shoot a few things or whatever, but you know, they were very impressed with me and my professionalism, and obviously a lot of that has to do with YouTube. The fact that I've been on, you know, I basically am on camera every day doing something and figuring out how to phrase things for you guys. So, you know, they were feeding me lines, and they were very impressed the way I, you know, presentation value. A lot of that is dedicated to my journalistic radio broadcasting background. And then they invited me to come further along to do more clips, so that I got to return to Nokonoshima, the island, Nokono Island, where I lost my GoPro camera. It was taken from me, RIP. And I got to do a few more clips there, and it's crazy. Like, they emailed me, and they said they've never, like, of all the like people that they have had to host and do the clips, they've never had somebody as good as me. And the person that was kind of my agent or whatever put it all together, she emailed me late that night when she got back to Tokyo. They flew out the same day, and when she emailed me like at 1:30 in the morning, was just like, yeah, you know, if you come to Tokyo, this is the thing, this is the good and bad thing about all of this, and this always happens, is like, they're just like, hey, if you ever find yourself back in Tokyo, we have a lot of different projects. You know, there's a lot of opportunities for you, and yeah. So this is kind of like this good and bad thing. It's like, I enjoyed doing the shot, but at the same time, it hits me in the back of my head. I'm just like, okay, so what you're saying is that I'm very good, and there's actually some, if I really work through it, I could get some more work and do some more things. Because I know this, I know that I have the ability, obviously. I have the ability, and I have an interesting way of doing things, and I know, yeah. So this bothers me a little bit, because it makes me think, and I try not to think about it too much because it's going to stress me out. Just like those networks you know, 1-year contracts. It's like, if I just think about it now, there's no point in really dwelling upon moving if I move to Tokyo or whatever. If I think about that, it just all it does is make me depressed and makes me think about things I can't have, or where the grass is greener, and I can't get to that point at this moment in time anyways. So just like if I joined a multicultural network, or a YouTube network and shit, you're just always thinking, okay, could I have more subscribers as this person because they're part of this network or whatever, and how, you know, it's yeah. So I don't know, guys. By the way, so that video is gonna, all those videos are gonna go up at the end of June, so I'll share them with you guys around that point. Okay, that's 30 minutes right there. That's about 30 minutes. So like, subscribe, share, let's spread the word. As always, you can leave your comments in the weekly Wednesday What's Up. Let me know what you like about all of this, or some stuff you have suggestions for the channels. That's you can make reaction requests, but it's not really the point of this video, in this video, so that's up to you. You know, I should make a reaction, like, request form or something, like people can go to, and in that way I can just go down the list or something like that, like, because otherwise, like, yeah, I read the requests, I read every comment people make usually, but sometimes I'm doing it throughout the day, that when I try to go back to it later to find it or whatever, it's all lost through 40 other comments, you know. Yeah. Alright, that's it, guys. I am done. I should have actually prepared the next Daredevil episode before I started talking, but it's okay. I'm out. Peace. Oh, sunset yet? Yeah, I do need some sort of outro, a new outro or whatever. For especially Omegle, everybody could have been like, until the Batman versus Superman. I know some people don't like that shit. I didn't like that shit anymore either. Okay, yeah, it's sunset, but whatever. All right, out. Peace, guys.